The High Atlas Foundation began in 2000, and its inspiration began with former Peace Corps volunteers like myself, who served for 2 years, were deeply impacted by their service, by the communities we lived with, by the work that we did, and significantly, and perhaps mostly so, by the potential that we saw in rural Morocco. You know, by simply piping water, you save a third and increase arable land by a third, simply through cement. And when you think about that, simply basining water and allowing it to be clean saves children's lives. Morocco wants participatory democratic development to advance human development through democratic means. And in a sense, that is who we are. And so when you look at the kinds of projects that we've been involved with, it's hard to see a single thread of project type. In one community, the foundation recently partnered to buy a bull, to impregnate the female cows. That's what they wanted. In another area, it's to build a home for the local teacher so that that school teacher didn't have to commute 50 kilometers each way, and in fact not show up so often because roads being washed out during the rainy winter months. I think all totaled we're about at 400,000 seeds and saplings that will be planted in 2013, close to the amount that we've planted in the previous 9 years. And as a frame of reference, there are 26,000 trees in Central Park. 26,000. We're planting 400,000 this year. We've planted 450,000. And I will say, each one of these examples, the Waters and Forests has 700 such parcels of land, and we are doing one and the first. So imagine how much more can be done.
What have been the results of the 450,000 trees we've planted so far?
That's a major question, and it actually goes to the structural challenges. We can plant all the trees we want, but if farmers continue to receive the same amount of money per kilo that they received 10 years ago, while the global prices have doubled, there are structural challenges. So what we've achieved are certain breakthroughs, including that communities come together in so many places, where we work, and define what they most want and implement what they most want, which is most often tree planting, and we've done that. But at the same time, they're still receiving the same price per kilo that they received in 2002, 2003. So what we are doing to address that now is to secure organic certification of beginning with almonds and walnuts in the south side of the High Atlas Mountains, which is actually in the Teredin province, so that farmers will not just double their current prices, but also build direct links to purchasers in Europe and the United States. The High Atlas Foundation includes the stakeholders in two major ways. The first being that the foundation works in places where it's invited. And so, if we're working in El Haus or Teredin or Hemna or Boujdor or any place where we are currently working, there's been some expression by the local people to come, and that we welcome this group planning process toward evaluating our needs and creating action plans for social development and implementing them. So that invitation is an essential part of that inclusion of stakeholders. They start the inclusion, in fact. We aren't the ones who are included, not them. The other critical way that stakeholders are part of, or that we are part of them, is that once a project becomes identified by the community, or that it's moving in a certain project direction, meaning, the priorities seem to be agricultural based or education based or small business based. As soon as we get a sense of a project goal, we immediately begin the process of inviting the relevant ministries, civil associations, private agencies that may be interested in such a thing, into that dialogue. When that function is no longer needed, inshallah, one day soon, then, the Hylas Foundation will move on to something else. But until then, we'll continue to play that facilitative role. We'll continue to play that grassroots role. We'll continue to be inspired by the people here and, in fact, directed by the people.